By the end of this video, some of you will appreciate this head torch. Some of you will be confused. Some of you may even hate it. But all of you will desire it. They say absolute power corrupts absolutely. Welcome to the Fenix HP35R and welcome to absolute power. Now in this video I'm going to give you all the technical specs, but they say carry a big stick but talk quietly, and as well as kicking out up to 4,000 lumens, this head torch has got a whole load of subtle tricks up its sleeve, and I'm going to give you beam shots and compare it to my previous powerhouse, the fantastic Fenix HM75R, and then just as a bit of a reality check, I'm going to compare it to, in some beam shots, the diminutive Nightcore NU25. Then after the tech specs and the comparative beam shots, I'm going to talk about what it's like to use on a wild camp. And don't just trust my opinion. I've recruited a friend of mine who's been for decades on a mountain rescue team locally, now retired, and he's even spent many long days in the polar night camping, exploring and skiing. So he's well qualified to talk about search and rescue and headlamp applications. So I'm even going to bring you a section on a night navigation exercise and compare the HP35R to everybody else's. That takes place in the Lake District. And then I'm going to bring you back for a summary and my opinion about this fantastic professional grade all-out headlamp, and that'll be based on my use on a camp or camps and many a night here down the woods, spending hours walking in the dark. Enjoy the video. Right, it's time to take you through the unboxing and the features of the HP35R. I think HP stands for high power. This is listed as 4,000 lumens. There's the side of the box showing some of the features. To the rear we've got some tech specs. This is the unit itself, absolutely high quality item, nicely boxed, little leaflet showing some Fenix products, a comprehensive instruction manual, a warranty card, and this is the unit itself. It comprises of the headlight unit that's like a anodized alloy. This part actually is pretty light, and on the back is a 10,000 milliamp hour power pack. And this is actually two 5,000 milliamp hour batteries encased inside this, and you can't actually remove these in any way, but you can get an extra power bank. It comes in two different types. There's this headband version and one designed for helmet mounting only. It's got an anti-slip strap there. There's a firm connector between the power bank and the light units itself. The power bank has a USB-C port, and importantly this is in and out, so you can use this for charging your phone or other devices, because there's lots of power there. You get long run times, so should you have some spare, you can use this to power your other devices. And if you just press once on the power button at the back there, you'll see you get a readout from 0 to 4 indicating percentages, and if we long press on there, this to the rear is a rear light. That's really bright there, gives a big diffuse light. Press and hold to go off. Now, operating the light itself, you'll see there's 3 main emitters. There's 2 flood and 1 main. I'll try not to dazzle you. So it's just 1 turn to go onto spot, and then you can scroll through various settings there. And don't worry about the run times and outputs of these. I'll put this on when I show you the beam shots. Another turn goes you onto the warm 4000K flood mode. Press again, it goes up through the cycles, and that gives a massive spread of area. Twist it again and you get a combo from low, medium, high and turbo. And with any of these, it's got mode memory. So for instance, I've just twisted it back to the flood mode and it's gone back onto the lowest setting, and that's gone back onto the lowest setting on the spotlight. Should I crank that up and then switch it off again, when I turn it back on, that goes back onto that high setting. So what I'm tending to do is leave the spot and the flood on low, and I tend to leave the combo on high. And this is a big knob here. You could operate this with any gloves or mittens and you'll be able to get straight through to that. Now, with it being a manual and electronic switch, there's no way of locking that out, but for transport, what I would do is just undo the power there. But to be honest, this is a kind of like a reasonably robust switch, and if you've got it in a case for traveling, it's not going to be easy to kind of put that on, but you can always disconnect the power for safety. Now, also contained in the box is a USB-C charging cable that's of good quality and a longer power connector. I haven't undone this yet, but the idea of this, of course, is so you can take the power bank off and put it in your pocket to keep it warm whilst keeping the unit on your head. But before we'll do that, we'll just do some weighing of the unit. Now, according to Fenix, the whole thing weighs 433 grams, and that's exactly what I'm getting it there. And if that seems super heavy, actually when I've been using it in practice, it's not felt too bad. And if you were to separate the power bank, that weighs 184 grams, which is kind of comparable to other powerful head torches, which is 176 grams for the excellent HM75R. And this also has an extra power bank that can be put on the back. And then we've got lightweight ones like the HM62, which just weigh 124 grams. And actually, honestly, when I've had all this on my head for an hour or 2 walks, it's not felt too obtrusive. But I'll show you now the power bank off. So that's a case of just lifting this robust clip down off here, and it just simply slides off. So what you do is disconnect that. Attach this. If I was out in the cold, I could place that into an inside pocket, wear the unit on my head, and that feels really lightweight now on my head, or like a conventional head torch, and the power bank warm inside there, so you can be assured of maximum run times with the power bank safely stored away in your pocket, keeping cozy. And of course you couldn't do that with a conventional headlamp if the battery was contained inside. So excellent for cold and extreme conditions. Now, final features, it's all IP66 waterproof. That means strong jets from any angles, not designed to be underwater, but any outside conditions, heavy spray, water, driving powerful rain, it'll be absolutely fine. And being a professional unit, it is 2-meter drop waterproof. That is really tough. I think it's a lovely looking thing, and it definitely looks the business. It looks super pro. I hope you've enjoyed this detailed look, and on with the next part of the review. This is actually an old wagon way where they used to take the coal from the Northumberland coalfields down to the River Tyne, and you'll see here there's a bridge over the wagon way, and I'm going to go back down there 100 meters away, and we'll see if any of these head torches can light up these reflectors here. The white one on the bridge will stand out, and of course the bridge itself. Right, first up is the NU25, and I'm going to use my phone to record because the GoPro just won't pick things up. NU25 low, medium, high. And that's the dual spot and flood together. Okay, next up is the HM75R. Spot low, spot medium, spot high, spot turbo. Flood low, flood medium, flood high. HP35R spot low, spot medium, spot high, spot turbo. Whoa. HP35R flood low, flood medium, flood high, flood turbo. That lights up a massive area of the woods, and this is the combined effect on turbo. Look at that. Let's just bring that down to combined low, combined medium, combined high, combined turbo. This is just like the landing lights on a 747. Amazing. Right, let's compare the HM75R and the 35 max power together. That's max power 75, 1600 lumens, and there is the full power of the 35. It's quite a warm light. There's the 75, which I thought was amazing before, and there's the 35. You can see every detail of that bridge. Amazing. Usefully, I'm using the mighty Fenix HP35R tonight to light up this area, so really useful, powerful head torch to give us a big area illuminated. Okay, that's been a top night. The boys have retired to their tents. I've shut off the rest of the Lee 2, so I'm just in the Lee 1 inner. And yeah, I've got the big HP35 just on flood mode there, acting as a bit of a lantern while I get ready to bed. So yeah, it's been a really great night, great crack. So we'll see you in the morning. It's test night on a freezing night in the Northumberland Hills, and I've dragged my friend out here, Will, for a test night on this Northumberland hilltop. And what we're going to simulate is trying to locate casualties using these three head torches. We've got the Fenix HM62, which is 1200 lumens and a maximum throw of 230 meters. We've got the Fenix HM75R, which is purported to be, I'll put it on the screen now, and the mighty Fenix HP35R that's billed as the search and rescue headlamp, and this will go up to 430 meters. And the reason I asked Will to come out to me tonight, because he's got experience in search and rescue. So do you mind telling us a bit about yourself, Will?
Yeah, sure, Dave. So I was involved in mountain rescue for over 30 years. My particular thing is multi-day journeys.
Yeah, so it inspired me to get this Brindley jacket. It's on him that I saw it first, and I think it looks better on him than me, actually, kind of like pretty annoyingly. So what we've got set up here to simulate our casualties is we've got a signalling flag from the German bag. We've got one green North Face jacket on the ground that should be like a casualty, and I've got a blue E-vent with some orange piping. So we're going to move away several hundred meters and use the different head torches and actually find out if the HP35R can light up these subjects from several hundred meters away compared to the other one. Now, Will here is going to be a bit of a tough sell because he's got his ancient Petzl that he swears by. It's kind of, you know, his go-to. So we'll see what he thinks. You won't be able to, but this is from just about 100 meters away, and you can see the rescue flag there, and I can make out, you probably can't see it on the GoPro, but I can make out the blue jacket to the right and the green jacket to the left. Would you agree, Paul?
Yeah, I think the blue jacket's just got the edge on visibility, but I can just make out the green one as well.
So I think if we were looking for people, we'd be able to make them out from this distance, and that's on full power spot. And let's just try with yours now, Paul, your old friend. Let's give it a go.
Yeah. Certainly makes out the reflected flag.
Yeah, we can see the strip there. This is the 1200 lumen HM62. I'm not sure if I can make out colours there, and it's quite a diffuse beam, but we've definitely got the rescue flag. And then, so this is the 1600 lumens of the HM75. Make out anything there at all?
Just the blue to the right, I can just see, but not much more.
So it's amazing on this kind of like slightly damp and misty evening how quickly we're losing colour. You know, just about 100 meters we can see things with the big one, but not much out with the others. It's only because I think we know that they're there, but the rescue flag's behaving pretty well. Right, yeah, so this is proving an interesting test in terms of being able to make out the shape of the hill. Colours we've lost fairly quickly, but the rescue flag's really doing a good job. So what's your first impressions of the 35 on your head there?
Well, that is some awesome light. I can certainly see its value in a situation like this. If you were actually looking for someone, that distance and the power of the beam is quite remarkable. The battery's quite heavy.
I think Will is feeling the power a little bit there, but yeah, as he says, you've got to have the weight if you're going to have the power.
Does this come with a lead to have the battery?
Yeah.
Because one of the things I've been looking at recently is a head torch with a lead that you can use in cold weather.
Well, the same applies to the 75 that we've got here. That also comes with a separate lead, and the battery pack just clips on the back. So this is pretty versatile in that you can use it as a standalone there, which is not super heavy, or clip on the battery on the back as well. So this is probably the most versatile unit, and you know, it's reasonably powerful.
Yeah.
Okay, that's us 300 meters out. So Will's going to give it a go now and see what we can see. Yeah, we can see I think we can see the shape of the hill, can't we? Yeah. Yeah. So we've got the outline of the hill, so we've got terrain. So let's just try that with the 75 on spot. We've not got the shape of the hill and just a faint glow of the rescue flag at 300 meters. Doing this sort of exercise is always a good learning curve, and what it's made me mindful of tonight is always carry that little rescue flag from the German bag, even if I haven't got the German bag with me. Okay, we're back at our casualties. Are you okay? I think they're a bit dehydrated. So yeah, the kit's still here. This is what was reflecting quite well. I recommend sourcing one of these and carrying one. It was excellently reflective. Okay, good. We're back at the car, and we were just discussing the attributes of these two head torches. And Will is off on a 3-week trip to northern Sweden, covering a race, aren't you?
Yeah, so working as part of the support crew on an Arctic Ultra race, which lasts for about 10 days.
Cool, and he's going to be doing his own kind of weeks snowshoeing and camping and hut touring and stuff. So I've offered for Will to take one of these, the mighty HP35R, all-out power, bit of weight, or the HM75R. Both are remote battery capable. This is a separate unit here. So which one for you, Will?
I think I'm going to take this one, Dave. It's still a powerful enough light, and it's got the added advantage of the remote cable, so I can keep the battery inside my jacket and stop the cold affecting it. So I think I'm going to take that one and try it.
Okay, cool.
This is obviously an awesome bit of kit, but for me, for everyday use, it's just a bit too heavy.
Yeah. I get that, but I think we discovered tonight that for that big reach, that kind of like search and rescue thing, which is what it's billed as, that's when it shone, literally. So we were able to see the outline of the hill, we could pick out the rescue flag, colours and stuff, so it worked really well for that application.
Certainly when I was in a rescue team, a torch like that would have been really useful, because it's got lots of flexibility. You don't always need a really powerful searchlight all the time, but when you do need it, you've got that extra light.
Okay, we're on a night navigation exercise with a load of friends who kind of like want to learn a little bit more about night nav. We're in the Lake District, kind of Dove Crags over there. We've actually seen people in Priest Hole. We've seen some lights, but everybody's got the head torches on, so I'm going to see what the Fenix HP35 is like in this kind of like Lake District night nav situation, and we'll ask the lads kind of what they think about it. They haven't seen it yet, they're in for a bit of a shock. Aye, so we're lined up with our head torches on, so we're trying to illuminate this nubbin in the distance, so everybody head torches on full power. See if we can light that up there. There's one or two shining up, so everybody put the head torches off, and then this is now the HP35 on its own. So it seems that everybody's head torches together. There's 5 people. It's not as powerful as this one. Yeah, you all love me for that, don't you? Aye, so we're just descending down here, so that's me picking up the path, lighting it up like daylight. Bloody brilliant. Coming down here, I think as a group, we're appreciating this light being on point, giving a spread of light for the group ascending down. We're tired. We're over 10 miles now. We've been out for 9 hours, so yeah, a decent light is definitely appreciated to shine the way. And I don't know if you can see it, but through these trees and down the valley, that's where we're staying down there, so the end is sight. So this is kind of powerful enough to light up right down the valley, which is fabulous. So after 2 months use, what are my honest thoughts about the HP35R? So firstly, let's go over some cons. Now first, it's the price.
tonight on Amazon it's £234, which is a chunk in anybody's book, and plus the weight of over 400 grams is noticeable when you're carrying it and when you've got it on your head. And finally, it doesn't come with any sort of storage pouch at all. This one by Fenix is absolutely the job for it, but it's not included, and I think Fenix have been a little bit mean, despite all its other things that are included, that should have a pouch like this. And finally, the power pack, whilst you can take it off the back and replace it with another one, it's not readily available as a power pack. You can't change the cells inside, but to be honest, for the amount of time that it lasts, you could go for 2 nights on night navigation and you wouldn't need to recharge it. So now let's talk about some of the pros. Now, despite its weight, I found it really comfortable, and when I'm down the woods here, which is kind of frequent, it's my go-to head torch now. It's the one I reach for. And to be absolutely honest, when I reached out to Fenix and asked them to send me this head torch, I just thought it would be kind of like loads of fun to have loads of power and to keep doing this all the time, way like that. But I thought it would be a kind of like one-trick pony, mega power, loads of fun, and then I would just stick it in a drawer and not think about it until I wanted loads of power again. But that's not been the case. I've enjoyed using it frequently, so it'll do other things as well. So my default setting is to keep the first spot and the first flood on low, then leave the combination up really high. And that way I can have easy access to a kind of combination. The other massive pro is just this switch, how beautiful it is to use with mittens on or anything. It's kind of like super accessible. So if I lost or whatever, I didn't have this tomorrow, I would absolutely go and get one myself. I think it's worth the investment just because it's so versatile. And of course, I'm not going to reach for the HP35 for every single wild camp, but for those nights when it's long, dark and winter, or I'm definitely going to be doing some hiking after dark, it's going to be the one that I reach for, just because it does everything. You can have that max power whenever you need it, or it'll make a nice kind of warm lantern. So let me know in the comments below if it's something you would consider. I'll put a link to where you can get this, and thanks very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the review. Before you say to me, Dave, that's not the world's most powerful head torch, well, I don't know of any other that is as powerful as this in such a package with the battery on the back. Many of them need a remote battery, and some of them, about the number of lumens, are just plain old lying.